day, everyone. Pathfinders, master guides in training, parents, siblings, whoever is watching this. I say good day to you all and welcome to this presentation. My name is Lweendo, Hamuyuni, and I'm coming to you from Chainama SDA Church in Woodlands Conference in Osaka. And I'm a master guide, but I'm also a pediatrician. I'm a medical doctor. And today, we are coming to you from this portal, the online portal, and we all know what's going on, the COVID-19 pandemic. The public health regulations require us to stay at home, and so I'm coming to you from home. Now, the target class for this presentation are Pathfinders from the class of Rangers going up. So that's Ranger, Voyager, Guide, and then we're also going to include the Master Guides in training. These also need to be part of the presentation, especially if you want to obtain the honor on viruses. We are going to talk about viruses today. So for you to get this honor, you are going to need to complete the following. One, you will need to listen to this presentation. Okay, very important for you to listen to it from the beginning to the end so that you are able to understand an overview, a quick overview of what really viruses are and why they are important. Number two, you will need to complete a worksheet which we are going to share with all of you that will want to be part of this class, and you will need to complete the questions. So it means that there's a lot of self-study, there's a lot of research. You have a lot of time to do that. You are not in school now, so it's important that you utilize your time. Occupy till I come. That's what the Lord says, isn't it? And then number three, there's a project. There's some homework that I would want to give you at the end of this presentation. And once that homework is done, you've watched the presentation, you've done the worksheets, then you'll be happy to actually confer this honor onto you. So what are viruses? Hard words: submicroscopic infectious agents, obligate intracellular parasites. So submicroscopic just means that they are very, very tiny. Okay, the light microscopes that we have in our biology labs, they will not be able to show you a virus even if you looked hard. We need electronic microscopes to actually be able to visualize these things. They are much, if you have a bacteria and a virus, the bacteria will be so much bigger than the teeny weeny virus. And so we say submicroscopic. And then they are obligate parasites in that they will actually only do things that pertain to their survival only inside of another living organisms. They are not able to do that on their own. Okay, so there's been an ongoing argument for a very long time. Are viruses living? Okay, some biologists will say no, they are not living because they can stay for thousands of years inert, crystallized, unable to propagate. They're just there in their little corner and not doing anything. But on the other side, once the environment is conducive, they are sensitive. Typically, living organisms will be sensitive. So that's a feature of a living organism. They are sensitive to know that this is time for me now to thrive and to replicate. They are able to do that. And also, they are able to reproduce, which is a feature of a living organism. Only when they're in another living cell. So, again, those things actually will make you think that viruses are living organisms. Viruses have genetic material, okay? And genetic material is a characteristic of people, of organisms that are living. And also, they evolve into their more robust cells. So it means that if the environment is threatening, they are reducing in number, there's something that is sort of making, their sustainability difficult, they'll change themselves they'll mutate into a form that will be hardy and that will be able to fight whatever danger is coming to them. And so that is also a feature of something that is living, survival of the fittest. So some biologists will say they are living, but then on the other side, they'll only behave right. They'll only behave like living things when the environment is right, when they're in another living cell. And so if you look at life, there's life on one end, there's lack of life on the other side. They are sort of in the middle, and for a long time they've been called organisms at the very edge of life. Yeah, so not a very easy answer there. And then, what are the characteristics of viruses? I've already talked about some, but I'll go through them again quite easily. One, viruses have what is called a nucleic acid genome. So there is a string of, like a string of beads that is really your genes, okay, your genetic code. So in that genetic code, there's all the information about that virus, what it will infect, how it will propagate itself, what is dangerous to it, and all that is encoded in that nucleic acid genome. So it can either be an RNA or a DNA. It can just be one strand or two strands. So you can have double-stranded RNA, single-stranded RNA, double-stranded DNA, single-stranded DNA. And outside of this DNA, okay, you have this strand, and outside of it you have what is called a capsid. So a nucleocapsid will cover the DNA to protect it from what is outside, so that it's safe, and so that it can self-propagate when the time comes. So it means that the viruses typically are made up of two things: the genetic material covered by the nucleocapsid, which is usually made out of protein. Some viruses will also contain a lipid envelope. Okay, so outside of that nucleocapsid, you have an envelope that will also be more of a protective part of the virus, but also it's important in terms of how the virus will now infect the host cell. It usually has glycoproteins, certain features on it, certain spikes. Those of you who've been looking at the picture of coronavirus, you know that there are these little spikes that come out, and those are the ones that it uses to sort of communicate to human cells so that it's able to enter into a human or animal or plant or whatever it is that it wants to infect. So I already mentioned to say that viruses are quite small. They are very, very small. Okay, 10 to the power negative 9, they are called nanometers. So viruses usually range from around 20 nanometers to 250 nanometers. There are some that are about 700 nanometers, but those are rare ones that cause a special type of pneumonia, sometimes in humans. But the usual ones, the biggest ones are around 250 nanometers. Coronavirus is also one of the big ones that affects human beings. Now, we've already talked about the fact that they can crystallize when there's nothing happening around them. So they are called inert filtrable agents. You can't call them organisms. We already said they don't have all the features of living organisms. So they are actually crystallizable, and they'll be non-living as far as they remain outside of the living host for years on end. We talked about the fact that they're obligate intracellular parasites. We also said that they are somewhere in the between of what is living and what is not. And epidemiologically, okay, important to us as humans, they are responsible for a number of dreadful diseases that have ravaged us for a long time now. Humans, animals, and even plants are all